Okay, today we'll discuss about um, cloud computing. Okay, so so have you? I hope everybody has that AWS, Amazon Web Services, AWS Cloud account, right? So did you do something like on your account, or what is your basically things you have done it on that machine? Did you create any service in AWS? I hope everybody has the AWS account, right?
Yeah, we have used some services, Pari,
Okay, so
like API application. Some services we have used it.
okay,
I I created EC2 and SSIS IAM roles for you.
oh, you created a EC2 instance, is it?
Yes, for you.
All right.
EMR, EC2 instance and all.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay, fine. So best, yeah, I'll give you the basic overview of cloud computing. Then we'll go, probably today we will see EC2 instance, which is a computer instance. And then tomorrow we'll focus on EMR, which is managed Hadoop cluster. Is why we use EC2 instance, we'll see today. And then what is the pinpoints when you use EC2 instance and build um, a Hadoop cluster. See, there are two aspects. EC2 instance is good for certain scenarios, and there are some pinpoints when you use EC2 instance. So we'll discuss that, and then tomorrow we'll focus on EMR, which is basically a managed Hadoop cluster. So if you getting into a data engineer role, so and if you are using, if the client is using the Amazon AWS cloud computing and using the Hadoop there, then they will be using EMR. Okay, so that we will focus on. All right. So so you are able to see my screen. I hope you are seeing my screen, right? Can you confirm? Can you see my screen?
Yes, Pari.
Okay, all right, thank you. So basically, um, so before cloud computing comes, so generally how you develop our applications, and how do you deploy our applications on server is basically we'll actually create a on-premises uh, on-premises basically on you say example you run a company and you want to deploy your application, you go and uh, buy the software, the hardwares which is respect to servers. Okay, so example, if you want to build a database server, or if you want to build a web server or application server, I will go on to buy, which is a very powerful servers. Okay, even if it is a not powerful server, you have to go and buy a hardware and build a data center, and then install all your softwares and set up a network, and you build it. Okay, so on premise is more of doing everything from hardware procurement to having a system admin to set up servers and build the network, everything, right? So and also this in very olden days, there was no virtualization, so there will be a set of servers which will actually connect to the network and work. Okay, so that is basically taking a long process, and also it is cost wise, if somebody is kind of startup company or new company, they want to quickly build the softwares and deploy it in server, so it takes time and as well so costly. So then then if you then if you don't want to buy multiple servers. Okay, if you buy a large server which is specialized hardware, and there was a new concept called virtualization come. So you can buy a big server, and then using virtualization concept you can create a virtual machine and have like different servers in a single server. Okay, that also was introduced in later stage, but all the things like you have to do from starting from network to building servers and everything. So for this, there is a separate expertise you need for every stage, right? From networking to storage to basically, you will not get a person who knows everything, right? So basically, you need every level from networking to storage, servers, probably the virtualization um, and operating system, and then it comes to application development and the maintenance, everything. So building a expertise on every area is critical for a company who starts new, or maybe the even the mid-sized companies. Okay, that's where the need of cloud computing has come. Okay, so basically before going to this, right, IaaS and PaaS and SaaS, we will just uh, see what is cloud computing, right? So cloud computing is nothing but on-demand service. Okay, so whatever you see in the on-premises, these are, you can think of as a services, right? So there may be the resources. Okay, whenever you need a resource, okay, you can on-demand, you can just go and create it. Okay, uh, on-demand service and access through internet. Okay, and it is shared resource and it provides scalability. Okay, so that is nothing but a cloud computing. Okay, any service you want on demand, that can be get it in a matter of minutes. Okay, so that is nothing but cloud computing. So everything is available over internet. Okay, so there are companies, what they do is they actually procure hardwares, and they actually run a data center and they manage everything. Okay, so they are fully focused on that. Okay, so and they provide service to people. Okay, so those are all called cloud vendors. Okay, like one is Amazon. Okay, so and Microsoft company. Amazon is a company, and which provides this cloud computing service called Amazon Web Services. Like Microsoft is a company which provides a cloud computing platform called Azure, right? And then like similarly, Google provides a Google Cloud Platform, which is a GCP. Similarly, there are other cloud providers. Okay, so and even IBM provides called IBM Cloud. Um, there are other few cloud providers also. All all they do is basically they provide these services on demand. Okay, over the internet. Okay, so and these when so okay, so we saw, if you take a particular building a database server, web server, which needs all this. Okay, from networking to storage, server, virtualization, OS, middleware, everything. So uh, so so how they are providing the delivery model of cloud computing is software as services, platform of services, and infrastructure as service. Okay, so they provide in terms of three delivery model. Okay, so we'll understand what each delivery model meant for. Okay, when it is a infrastructure as service. Okay, the cloud provider is going to give you a networking, storage, and then servers and the virtualization. Okay, and they provide operating system, but they will not manage it. Okay, so this will be provided by means this will be managed by. Okay, so this will be managed by your cloud providers. Okay, and so they will so there will be a OSs available, so you can actually take it and you install it on this virtualization. Okay, VMs. Okay, and remaining things you can set up by your own. Okay, so when we say virtualization, basically I told you, basically having a bigger server and creating a small server called virtual machine. Okay, so it's basically logical, or maybe logical split of your big server, which you create as a virtual machine. Okay, so with that, what you need, no need to maintain the this part. Okay, so if I am actually want to build a small application on my uh, I want to build an application and quickly and deploy it in my server, I can just go and create a virtual machine in any cloud platform. Then I can start installing my runtime, and I can just develop my application. Okay, that is provided in terms of infrastructure as service. Okay, this is a one delivery model. So this part is managed by the cloud vendors, and this part is actually managed by as a user. Okay, so if you take this infrastructure as service, who will be using the infrastructure as service? System admins. Okay, most of the even sometime like the new roles, which is like DevOps people in recent days, they also use it. Or if it is a very small company, even the system data engineers will try to create these EC2 instance and do certain things. But it generally it meant for system admins and DevOps people who does all the setting up VMs and creating a VMs and in a cloud computing. Okay, and it is a scalable infrastructure which provides managing of the infrastructure, right? And uh, there are certain if you take an advantage, basically they people who are still have they have it in mind that whether it is secure or not, because uh, there are um, okay, before going to this IaaS, right, infrastructure as service, uh, there is uh, uh, there is a two or three broad categories called public cloud and private cloud and hybrid cloud. Okay, so what AWS gives is Amazon Web Service, right? It's called it's a public cloud. Okay, so so basically they will have data centers. Okay, they will have big servers, and they provide, example, if they provide, if you taking the sorry, okay, if you are taking a infrastructure as service. Okay, so what you are doing is basically they will create you a virtual machine. If you are taking a compute engine, okay, they will create you a virtual machine and they will give you. So that virtual machine is part of big server, right? Basically I told you virtual machine is basically a logical a unit of one big server. Okay, and there will be another logical unit like another VM. By example, I am a client one. Okay, so I'll take example. So if you take AWS, okay, what you do is you just go and create one compute service. For now, I'll just say it is a EC2 instance. Okay, okay, it's nothing but a VM for now. I will actually get into more detail about EC2 later, but think as it's a virtual machine. Okay, so I create a VM. Okay, so this is used by say company company AA. Okay, so and there is another company called BB. They also come and create a one more VM. Okay, so they want to create one compute engine. Okay, EC2 VM for this created by company B. So they both will not have the both will not have any association to each other. Okay, this is basically a one logical unit. Okay, from your big server or data center. Okay, this is one logic unit for company A. Okay, so I will not have any information or contact of about this VM. Okay, so but internally, if you just internally if you see, this is all one logical unit from big server, right? So this basically the big server is shared by the many people, okay, but they will not know each other, but they are actually sharing a the basically one common resource, okay. So this kind of model is nothing but a public cloud, okay. So this will be this one common resource, okay. So and this entire thing you can think of as this entire thing is a one big server or data center. This is basically shared by different peoples, but they will not know each other. So this is called a public cloud. Public cloud. And there is another broad category is the private cloud. Okay, in the public cloud, the data will not be shared by a whatever data you stored on those machine will not be shared by anybody. Even the cloud providers cannot see the data. Okay, that's what they claim. So that's the reason there is a drawback of security is a concern for some people, right? So that's one. When it comes to private cloud, so what the cloud provider says is, okay, so I have a data center or big server which will be used by only company A, client A. Okay, so even I create one, so basically I can create a multiple logical unit. Okay, so like I can create an EC2 instance, or I can just go and create any managed or any SaaS product, or I can create any PaaS product, any PaaS product. But this everything is owned, or maybe owned by uh, only for it's only for company C and C. Okay, then this type of model is called private cloud. Okay, this also provided by some cloud providers, but this is only for the respective client. So this uh, data center or server will not be shared by any client. Okay, this type of model is called private cloud. There is another type called hybrid cloud, which actually some part is uh, it's a will not be shared by any client to the any client, and some part is like you do certain things in a private cloud. You buy a data center or servers, specialized hardware from you will actually tell the private cloud to do all the things, and you develop some application over there, and some application you develop using a public cloud. That is called hybrid cloud. The combination of private and public cloud is nothing but hybrid cloud. Okay, do you have any question? Okay, I assume you don't have any question, so I'll continue. So that is nothing but um, infrastructure service. In infrastructure service, all this EC2 instance and rack space, and these are the some of the product from the infrastructure service products, okay, available in the market. From AWS side, EC2 instance is a uh, infrastructure as service. So we get a virtual machine, and which will have storage associated to storage associated to that, and network associated to that. Okay, so we will create a EC2 instance, and we'll explore each and every concepts in EC2 instance. And the next delivery model is a platform as service. Okay, so so here platform as service, what so in infrastructure as service, still virtualization is provided, right? Basically managed by cloud. Okay, and in platform as service, they will manage operating system, middleware, runtime. Okay, everything you will get it. Okay, what you need to is you just have to, as a user, you just have to go and develop application and manage your data. I'm sorry. So you need to go and manage your data and develop application, manage your data. That is nothing but PaaS, platform as service. And so basically developers use the PaaS model. So you will get a web servers, database, everything you get it. You just have to go and write your code and deploy your code. Okay. So some of the products available in the cloud computing is AWS Elastic Beanstalk and Windows Azure, Google App Engine, and Heroku and Force.com. These are the some of the products for the platform as service. This Elastic Beanstalk is basically more of application development. For big data side, EMR Elastic MapReduce is one of the PaaS service. Okay, so that you need to know. EMR is also PaaS service. We will be doing tomorrow. We'll be focusing on this. This is a managed Hadoop cluster, and which is going to give you cost-effective, rapid development, quick deployment of your web applications. Okay. And the developers, okay, so in this PaaS model, okay, so there is a few disadvantages, like there are certain uh, okay, certain programming languages limited to, okay, so you cannot use all the programming languages, right? So there are limited programming language. uh, it is limited, okay. So if you, I don't know whether people who know about a lambda functions in AWS. So this basically also provides like you can write a code. Actually, you don't need to have any server or anything. You just have to write your logic as a functions. AWS will run it. But the drawback is it is very limited to a few programming languages like Java, Python, and other few languages. So you cannot support other languages. So that kind of limitation is there in the platform as service, and the migration also will be a little difficult because if you are moving from one cloud platform to another cloud platform, if you want to migrate your code, because this is stuck with this product, right? So it is very little difficult for migration. So that is a platform as service. And the third one is the software as service. Okay. uh, Software as service, software will be provided for you as on demand. Okay, so more of ERP and CRM applications are mostly software as service, and like whatever the Google Docs and the Google Drive, what we use, right? Everything is a software as service product. This is mostly the license are per users. No need to install or manage any softwares. So only you can just create a users in their product, and you can just access through internet. This is mostly used by the end users. Okay, so uh, infrastructure as service used by system admins and or DevOps people, and the platform as service used by the developers, and the software as service is used by the end users. So in Google we have a Google Drive, and in Microsoft Office 365 is there, and universally accessible. The advantages are universally accessible. Vendors provides modest software tools online 24/7. And the cons are sometimes you get a browser issue, and the portability and the internet performance might affect based on the application performance. Okay, so these are the three delivery model. Okay, so the high level. Okay, there are little inside. Again, if you take IAS, you have some IAS. I am not sure, but PaaS you have different subcategories. But and so there are. But in high level, these are the three delivery models. Any cloud computing vendor provides: infrastructure as service, then platform as service, and then software as service. Right. So now we'll. Okay, here this we saw. Now we'll try to focus on say as in this um, um, curriculum, I'm just in our course we are going to focus on AWS, Amazon Web Services only. So what I want to do is basically, I think if you already have an account, you can use that, and you can also try using a free trial account. Okay, so in AWS, there is a free trial account, which they provide free services. Okay, so that means for 12 months. Okay, once you sign up, next 12 months you can use it some of the services free. Okay, with some limitations. Like what are the limitations? So if you create a compute engine, okay, which is basically a um, uh, it's a infrastructure as service, right? So you can use per month 750 hours you can use. Okay, so basically 12 months is your account is free, for the free tier is applicable for 12 months, but every month you have some limitation. You cannot just use n number of hours for the compute engine. So the maximum 750 hours, and you can create a Amazon S3, which is actually a storage service. Okay, where you can actually store your it's actually similar to HDFS. Okay, distributed storage um, component. Okay, here it is, we call it as service, right? And RDS, which is a relational data service, right? So Amazon RDS, which supports all your relational databases as a managed relational database service. So like MySQL, you can MySQL or Postgres or MariaDB or SQL Server, everything they provide as a service. Okay, and that is basically a RDS. So you can use 750 hours per month. Similarly, other I told you this Lambda is there, a compute and machine learning service also you can use, something called Amazon's SageMaker, and NoSQL database called DynamoDB is there. You can use uh, this is for per month, or this is overall, I guess. Basically, this 12 months period you can use 25 GB of size, and I don't know about these services. Yeah. So mostly will be EMR Elastic MapReduce is not a free trial service. Okay, so that's one drawback. Do you have any question?
No, Pari.
Okay, so I hope you all have the AWS account. So I'll just anyway show you how to just sign up. So you can go to this. If you go to, you can go to my account. Just click on the AWS Management Console. That's a dash. That's a link you will be using most of the time. Okay, so it will come to this page. If you have already account, okay, there are two type of accounts: root user, IAM user. Root user will have all the access. Okay, so IAM access we can have some restriction to that. Okay, when you sign up as a first time, you sign up as a root user. Then so if you are having account, you can just provide your user ID, the username or email address, or if you are creating a new, click on this create a new AWS account. So you can actually give your email ID. Okay, you can give some password and click on next. Okay, now you need to choose whether it is going to use it for personal or business. So you can use personal for now, and you can provide these informations, and continue. Okay, so because it will go to the payment section. I already have a account. I will not want to do that. Okay, just continue. Then actually you will get a, once you provide this information and say continue, then it will ask you the payment details. Okay, so you have to provide the credit card or debit card details, because they will charge for registration they will charge some minimum account. So for India it is only 2 rupees 2 INR. US, if you are signing up from US, I think maybe $1. I'm not sure. So and then it will ask you, once you provide a credit card, then it will go to verification, card verification page. Once it is verified, you can send the verification code. Once it's verified, okay, then your account will be created, and then it will ask you to choose the plan. Okay, so this, we are going to create a free tier account. You can just use a basic plan. So if you are going to, as if you just working on a like a company or something, they will choose either developer plan or business plan. So based on their need, they can go and choose it. And then once it is registered, then you get a let me log in with my user. I think registration is very simple. So next. So once you log in, so this is how your the initially the window is going to be. Okay, so really you go on. So you can click on services, and so basically when you create a account, right? So basically um, you can you will be logged into some region. Okay, there are two concepts here: a region and the zones. Okay, so like there is in US, there are a few regions. Okay, so these are the in the USA itself, 4 regions are there, and which in turns have some zones, available zones. Okay, and the costing is differs from every region. The service which you on which you use it on USA region, it will have different cost, and when you use it in Asia specific region, then it will have different cost. Basically it will may try to make use of the data centers available on respective regions. So as this cloud vendors, they have data centers in different places, okay, to provide a better service for the better reachability. Okay, so this the AWS management control console is the one which you will be working if you are using a cloud based, if you are developing, or maybe if your development is on cloud based development, like even it is a big data or application development is a cloud based one. So the AWS management console is going to be your major area to work. And then now you click on this services, then these are the services provided by the AWS. Okay, so it has every um, uh, categories like compute. You have EC2 instance, Lambda, Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, all the things. And storage, you have S3, and S3 Glacier is there. There are other services. Machine learning, there are many things. I have worked on mostly EC2 instance, and Lambda. I have not tried it, but I know few information about Lambda. S3 I worked on it, and then when it comes to analytics, I worked on EMR. There is Ethino. I just did little things, but not worked much. EMR is the majorly I worked on it. And there are in IoT